What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology retold action in the top of the map in the blue color, playing as Thor. His name is Mechanics. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Shenong. His name is Kido Severo Bones Jones the Great. And yes, it is a map or a game on the map step here. This is going to be another Scorcher. I got a feeling in my loins. The loins are telling me we've got ourselves a bit of a game to have happen here. So, what's gonna happen? What's the matchup? What's the big problems? Well, I don't know. Thor versus Shenong, not a matchup I've seen a whole lot of. You know, Shenong's got access to some really early tower rush strats that can be really, really brutal. Wander forward, drop a building here, and try and get some stuff off. Much easier with Nuwa to execute that than with Shenong, but Shenong can literally wander forward as well and try and do the same type of thing. A little bit less effectively, but you know. So there's that option. On the other side, you can also go for things like, you can go for Chi Yo and go for a whole bunch of Yatsa. You can also go for Hal 2 and go for a really, really defensive game, playing for the mid to late game, really. Obviously, Shenong is an insanely strong late game god, but so too is Thor, a very, very nice late game god as well. It might sound a bit strange calling a Norse god good in the late game, but the reason why Thor is so good in the late game isn't really because of unit strength, though he does have some boosted armor with the unique armor upgrades he has access to. He gets an extra 10% in every offensive, defensive stat, attack, armor. But it's more so this god power up here, the gold mine, the dwarven gold mine. If he can use that a bunch in the mythic age and doesn't have to use it much beforehand, he doesn't really die. He doesn't really die. Set OP says, I would argue Norse actually have really good late game units. Not compared to Shenong. Shenong's got some of the best. He's got a huge amount of like unit stat boosting stuff with either going for the Phoenix, what's the god, Zhurong, or going through Huangdi. Those two Mythic Age gods are pretty significant in the world of buffing this god's units. Plus, on top of that, you can also grab yourself, what's it called, Rushol infantry as well. So they've got divine damage, and they've got, I mean, pierce armor doesn't really matter that much in this matchup, but yeah. So it can be either way, going for either one of those, depending on what sort of god path the Thor player goes through. You can sort of counter that pretty easily on the other side. Nonetheless, I expect to see Mechanics probably going through Forseti here, though arguably it's a little bit safer to go through Freya, because Freya is going to give you access to some Valkyrie, which while they're not able to quite kill off the Yatsa when they get into packs of 2, if you catch one out by itself, you can catch up to it and you can snipe it down. It can be a good way to defend yourself early game from the painful raids. If they've got 2 out, you can get 2 Valkyries out, you can kill them. If they've got 3 out, you can get 3 Valkyries out. It could be possible that 2 Valkyries beat 3 Yatsa. I haven't tried that, but I definitely know that 2 beats 1. So you got to be a little bit careful. Nonetheless, we are going to be seeing that second Yatsa coming through. It will be some aggression to come in for Kido, going for the Halberdier to kick the game off. Not really a surprise to see the Halberdier, but because they are quick, good units to get out and be running across the map. But whether or not Thor's going to go in for raiding cavalry straight away, I don't think we're going to be seeing that. So the Yatsa now moving in, sneaking around, trying to get in to snipe some villages or something like that. Not quite able to do so. We see a great hall getting thrown down, and Mechanics decides to opt into something a little bit different. He doesn't build it. He's going to be throwing down a wall. I wouldn't be surprised if he says, hey, screw it, let's just go straight to the heroic age. The way that this Shenong is playing, maybe it's an idea. What's he going to go for? He grabs watchtowers straight away. He hasn't really scouted a whole lot, so he doesn't know what Kido's doing. But Kido here is just poking around all across the map. He's going to try and sneak in up and around this back position to hit this wood line here. And this could be a dead villager coming in. If we take a quick look at the actual line of sight, he will be spotted. We'll see how sneaky Kido is going to be here. Does he get straight to the tree line? He does, basically. It gets onto one of those dwarves. It's going to be close. Doesn't manage to snipe that one, but the last one does get caught out. One villager down, and the Yatsa out of there. So we'll free Yatsa plus the second one. This one's already paid itself off now, sniping down a dwarf. Sure, you don't get the Quailfill out, but nonetheless, he's now going to be going in for Son of Lung. And this is going to be even more pain for Mechanics to have to go through. Mechanics trying to track down these Yatsa, but they just dodge, dip, dive, duck, and dodge. 4.8 speed is a lot less than 5.5 speed. So even if you do manage to get one smack on, that's probably all you're going to get. The snare, probably not enough to slow them down and get another smack into there. It's now halberdier, fire archers coming through. The Yatsa, you have to be kind of sneaky with the Yatsa. You're looking to stay sort of outside of line of sight with these bad boys. Out of sight, out of mind. At the moment, Mechanic's not really defending this back wood line. He does have his villagers over here, though, which is nice. Though, unfortunately, he's sort of split up the wood line a little bit here. But the Yatsa sneaking around here, going to go after a house. Sort of revealing that he's on this spot, and Mechanics is going to try and move out here. He does have himself that Hall of Thanes now, but it's a 5.3 speed. Not going to be enough, and with some speed... Oh, he does manage to snare one, but not able to keep the chase there. Pulls back, doesn't want to run into any pain there, as Kido, he gets what he needs done. He's got himself a Cheongchi here as well. Another military camp coming down. He's actually going to be going for Rage of Slaughter here. One idea against Norse with China is to go in for... effectively a bunch of Yatsa and a bunch of fire archers with a little bit of a front line with Dao swordsmen or halberdier as well. And effectively what that does is the fire archers are going to be able to kill off all the Hersa that need to get built. The Yatsa are going to be able to kill off all the raiding cavalry that come through, as well as the help of the Dao swordsmen to keep the raiding cavalry off of the fire archers. And it's a really, really difficult time to be alive there as the Yatsa come in. And I've had this happen to me as well. I don't understand. The Yatsa says, no, I don't want to dash in there and kill off a unit. You got to be a little bit more careful with it, I think. Maybe with the units, there's too many on the wood line or something. You can't attack. You got to wait for them to move and then dash in or something. I'm not exactly sure. As a little bit of miscontrol here from Kido, and that's all it takes. As both of those Yatsa end up going down, distracts the Hersa, picks the Yatsa off on the front. Big misplay from Kido there, as he's invested a huge amount of resources into teching those up. And it's all over for that raid pressure at the moment. I mean, he can keep building these. He gets another 2 out here, but limiting these numbers is absolutely gigantic. Nice Mechanics coming up onto this side. He's now going to start dropping watchtowers here. He says, hey, I got an idea. I want this hunt. I want this gold. If I put two watchtowers off, not only do I get this gold and the hunt, but also I'm going to be playing defense anyways against what the Shenong is going to be doing here. So let's just do this thing. As 2 trolls now coming out. I don't think Mechanics has got himself the cave troll just yet. Does manage to get in. Snipes one Hersa, going after a second one there. Might be able to snipe another one. Doesn't quite manage to pick it off as it manages to get away, as now the Arts are moving forward. The Hersa out of position do mean that this is free reign here for Kido to push forward. The Cheongchi lands down, loses that one there. As Kido pokes forward, has to pull back. Hersa peeling off to the left side here. As he's also got himself a Baihu as well. This is a huge amount of pressure to put on to Mechanics right now. Mechanics is Herser in pursuit here, but those myth units are getting all on top of that. The trolls all falling. The Bones, Kido, charging into the main base, peeling off the fire archers, drops the lightning weapons to try and stun those dwarves to prevent them from retreating away. And it looks like Kido has managed to win this fight, but Mechanics is still alive now. He drops that Dwarven Gold Mine. Villagers over here have to play a little bit of Ring Around the Rosie here. There is an opening on this side. Get those Yatsu over here and dash onto those villagers. Start sniping them down, but a big counter attack now coming in for Mechanics. He has to pull back, but these dwarves are also going at the same time. Great control with the Yatsu to stay away from the Herser for the time being there. Is the troll going to go down? Dwarf going to go down as well. Nope, doesn't manage to snipe the dwarf. Villager differential is only a 3 villager advantage here for Kido at the moment. So not a crazy significant one. The big difference here, though, is the differential in military population. So Kido pulls back, and he's got a couple of decisions to make now. Decision number 1 is, well, maybe we go Heroic Age. And we go Heroic Age, we get ourselves the Fey Beast, so we get ourselves the new bar Drought, so I can push through any sort of buildings that are going up. Option number 1, right? As you see a tower to come down, so this gold mine does get spotted as the farms to come down. Shenong farms in, going to keep those villagers safe. Nice play there from Kido. He also drops a silo here. He's going to be onto that as well. I like this idea of the Yatsu to chase away the raiding cavalry raids. This is something that that China kind of struggles with a little bit, is chasing down raiding cavalry and having a response to them. Because you can't really chase with the halberdiers at 5 speed. 5.5 speed also not really enough, but the special is enough to say, oh, I've got to start thinking about whether or not I want to dive this, because they're going to get in and they're going to get some damage done. We do have a Heroic Age now coming in for Mechanics. He's got himself 10 favor in the bank. That's not enough for another gold mine. He's already out on this second gold mine now. He's got the towers up. Kido has let him back into this game to some degree here. Kido could charge forward and absolutely torch this place. Literally, he's got fire arrows. He could literally torch that place. But instead, Crenellation's coming through. Master of Weaponry, taking his time here. It dives in, snipes another couple of raiding cavalry. Look at all these Yatsu. They are doing so much for Kido. You do have to remember, sure, he's not getting Quaofu. At the moment, where are the Quaofu? There's 2 Quaofu. That's it. But what does it matter if your army quality is this good and you're just not going to lose any fights? What does it matter? It doesn't. That's what Kido is saying here. As he dashes in, going to be able to pick off 1 tower here. Remember, the towers, they do damage, but they've only got 600 HP, or in this case, 540 HP. Master of Weapons is in here as well. So those halberdier are going to go to town on these units over here. The fire archers on the back kind of getting left there as well. And the frost gets dropped down. Tries to hit everything, but doesn't really hit much there at all. Kido trying to retreat out. Does lose 1 Yatsu there to a Frost Giant. He gets himself a Tau TA in onto this position as well. Unfortunately for Kido, he loses all of his Pioneers there to the Frost as well. So that Frost Giant is going to be able to have free reign here. The Baihu, under a lot of pressure from those Herso, will end up going down after all is said and done. And Kido has to get out of here. And somehow, some way, Mechanics is still alive in this game. Fire Archers coming through. They could be sniping down those Hersa, but not going for it just yet. A couple more farms to come down to make this position pretty safe, and armory to come down. More Yatsu getting created at this point. The big thing is the Yatsu, if they dive in onto the Frost Giant, and they can take that out very quickly. So for reference, the special attack does 15 damage. When you get the technology upgrade as well, we're not going to see it here. When you get the upgrade, I think it's 20. I think it's a 20. It's either 20 or 25. I can't remember. I can't remember what it is. But it's either 20 or 25 bonus damage. So these things are doing something like 35 or 40 hack damage for that special. And then you add the 3x. So let's just call it 30. Now we're doing 90 hack on that special. Sure, there's also the armor right here. You got 13, 33 hack armor. But still, if you have enough of these, you can just shoot in and you do a huge burst amount of damage onto a frost giant. As now we've got the rush shot queued up now from Kido, pulling back. He's getting himself copper weapons, copper armor, medium infantry. The one big letdown for not going Quaofu is often actually the gold income feels really, really weak. Quaofu do fantastic on the gold. Villagers, not so much. Villagers on wood, though, they do pretty good on the wood line. They're only 0.12. Well, how much does he have hand axe? Probably 0.2 behind on the wood, right? 0.2 behind. Whereas on the gold mine, I feel like it's more, but especially against the dwarves, it's definitely more. As we see some more walls coming up here for Mechanics, he's planning for the next stage of this game. He's very much alive now. He's got a very, very healthy army. Lots and lots of frost giants. He's getting those medium Huskal out as well. There are 2 Tau Tier here, so controlling those well is going to be key. As Kido sees the army, and he goes, I don't want any part of that. The rush are going to be in really, really shortly, and this does mean that one thing in particular, as the Yarts are coming through, diving past the wall, trying to stay out of sight, out of mind, Mechanics does notice it. He does notice it. The Yarts are pull back, and they say, I'm going to run around here. So are off, and a town center getting grabbed. Meanwhile, a raid over onto this side, but there are the towers here. The villagers can hide underneath the Shenong farms, no problems. It's a very dangerous place to raid. And now we see the next technology. This one's the big one for Shenong. I think this one's the one that a lot of people forget. You get this technology, and all of a sudden, the Yatsa, they start becoming really tanky. Plus 15% HP. 495 HP. That's kind of a lot for a classical age Anubite type unit. No? Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not so much. We see Huang Di already queued up here for Kido. As I'm starting to see this more and more in this patch, that what looks like is a good idea. Actually, he's assigning Zhu Rong here. What seems like a good idea is these sort of one town center extended classical fight pressure builds straight to the Mythic Age. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but that seems like what is becoming somewhat apparent to me. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. As the Yatsa do get themselves caught out here, charging up to the top side of the map. They're getting snared. An opportunity to dive over this as he does manage to get past the wall. And he's going to try and escape here. Mechanics putting every inch of his effort into trying to catch these Yatsa out. Another one dives to a hill fort and tower here. The Herso gets over here, gets some damage done as well. And Kido's Yatsa are no more. But Zhurong now coming in. Take a look at this Baihu though. 748 HP. That's kind of a lot. It's kind of a lot. And then he's also going to have Zhurong, and there's going to be those Firebirds. Those are going to be strong. See a town center now coming down for Kido as well. Ballet up onto this position. Tier queued up. As the building spammage starting to happen all over the map. A little bit of a raid coming in onto this side. As the Tau Tier aren't going to be the most useful against these Ursa, but he does have them there to come and deal with a heavy berserk. One fire archer in a dream. Nope. Not going to be enough. Down center 1 second from completing. Does manage to finish that one up there. And the units need to retreat back out. He can repair it all the way back up to full HP, no problems. And do we see... I wonder if we're seeing, like, Quailfu coming in now. There's still no Quailfu. These are the only 2 Quailfu which Kido's going for. And you can see that his economy is suffering for this. But in the end of the day, that only matters insofar as you lose your army. As Kido charges forward, ready to drop the fiery rain from hell in. As he drops this blazing prairie in. The the Zhu guy, the Phoenix coming in as well. This is going to be huge damage. We see another lightning weapons to come through for Kido as well. Does he have enough here? Surely the town center is going to be falling underneath this. He's getting himself spoils of war behind this. The town center does not end up falling, but the fire archers will clean that one up there after all is said and done. Gets himself those resources in for it. It's an absolutely huge amount of economic boost, this technology. It already pays for itself, dropping the Fey Beast onto the back line here. You have to remember these things do get stronger in the Mythic Age still. I think they might not. That might have changed. I can't remember. Anyways, he can now come over and take out the hill fort, get some more resources in. And now he's got himself the Weng Zhong as well. This guy is a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. There's a technology here inside of the thing here as well. No, he's already got it. That's the same technology which boosts the myth units, also boosts the hero. So he's got 800 HP, and he's doing an area of effect damage. You can see it around him of 4 with... Wait, I mean, it's 20, basically 20 hack damage per second. So it's still a huge amount of hack damage. You're going to be retreating back here. If it is kind of worth it to just try and heal him back up. But it does fall after all is said and done, as now the Southern Fire going to be coming in. And Mechanics manages to push back for the time being here. Villagers making their way up to the top side. They say, "Ooh, can we get in and get a ballet onto this gold mine?" As an idea. He's leaving this top right side completely open, though. Which is a little bit of an interesting idea. As now we see a free Qinglong to come through as well for Kido. As he's going to drop that down onto these units. Throw an Axeman retreating back. Population differential is favoring Mechanics at the moment. But he is struggling to get out of this heroic age to get to that next stage. Gets that Weng Zhong back in. Yet again, this guy's also amazing versus myth units as well. Don't mind that. He's good against myth units. He's good against human units. He's good against everything. But he is expensive. And it seems to me that Kido is just more than happy to just keep pumping these Shenong farms out. Keeps on using this tech. It's up to 15 favor. Still hasn't built a single second Quailfu in this game. He's at 71 pop. He could arguably just go into nothing but Quailfu now, pump those out, but sooner or later he's going to be out of gold, so why not just start a trade route, he says. He can get up here, that is. He's got the wall. If he puts a ballet here behind this, maybe he is okay. As the Sage comes through as well. The Weng Zhong here taking out 2 Frost Giants at the same time as they're starting to retreat back. And the population for both players has fallen off a cliff here. There's Weng Zhong yet again. Does fall. There's still a huge amount of resources in the bank here for Kido. I don't know if he just doesn't have another gold mine. He's trying to move up to here. He is trying to move up to here, get a ballet down, take this gold mine. It's Weng Zhong yet again coming back out. And Kido is going to get into his late game, whether you like it or not. It kind of looked like this game was going to finish at like the 12-minute mark, but we're still playing at 24 minutes and 30 seconds. Absolutely wild. The Spoils of War boost eco enough you don't need Quailfu on wood? Kinda. This thing costs 90 wood. How much wood do you get back? 45? Or is it 90? Do you get the full cost back or half? You don't want to tell me? You didn't want to tell me. 2 battle up on this side to secure this gold mine. Nice play. But realistically, the thing here now for both of these players is securing a trade route. This, unlike... Ooh, that was kind of interesting. He killed the building and he got the... That wasn't even finished. That wasn't even finished. I don't know how much he got back for it, but killing the foundation triggers spoils of war as well. I wonder if that actually happens or if it's a graphical bug or if it's intended. I'm gonna have to do some experimenting after this, I think. So 45 wood, yeah. There you go. There's the Qinglong Falls. But yeah, you get a lot of resources from this, especially in the late game where buildings matter. Killing buildings is kind of everything. You can get so much wood back. In fact, it's going to effectively mean that even if all the wood gets deleted from the map, gets chopped down, you still got wood to come because you can steal it from your opponents. Meanwhile, some stray raiding cavalry. We are seeing tier coming through, so no attempt at a big Ragnarok play from mechanics here. It might be an idea, to be honest. Like, Ragnarok got buffed to the 9s. If you're like in an equal position, it might just give you a win. I haven't really experimented all too much, though. I'm scared of clicking Ragnarok. Until someone else makes it better, I think I'm going to be scared of clicking Ragnarok. I was scared of clicking of Ragnarok in Legacy, though. As the Qinglong coming in, the most annoying raider in the game. Because he... Oh my god. It's this guy and it's this guy. These two, both of these myth units from China, they're not that good in a fight. I mean, the Qinglong are pretty good in the fight, don't get me wrong. But they're not, like, super ridiculous. But when they start raiding, now they're scary. As we see the Fimbulwinter getting dropped down, the unit's going to be retreating back. One thing here that Kido could do is manually micro all of his villagers back onto those Shenong farms, so at least he has a little bit of food income to come through during this. But he's just going to say, all right, I've done damage. I'm going to retreat back. And we'll start working it out a little bit later. As Mechanics is going to drop a hill fort up onto this side. Couple of archers coming out, getting himself the champion archers, bronze shields, burning pitch. Architects coming through, boiling oil, signal fires. Berserker gang. Yeah, Fimbulwinter isn't really about killing villages. It's more about idling economy. If you think about it, with 100 villages being idle for 30 seconds, 100 villages gathers about 6,000-ish resources a minute. So you're doing 3,000 resources worth of damage to your opponent, which is significant. Or gaining 3,000 on your opponent. Whereas you look at a god power like... I don't know, Meteor, for example. If you've got a 6,000 resource army, oftentimes you're left with about 3,000 resources at the end of it. So it's pretty comparable, to be honest. Now Kido says, time to engage. I've got some economy. I got my fire archers, my super fire archers. He's got himself a little bit of a weird path here. He hasn't grabbed those technologies here in the military camp to boost his infantry up, but he's got the super infantry with, like, the halberdiers are obviously super with Master of Weaponry, plus he's also got Fey Beasts, but he's got super archers here, he's got everything he needs, and his Wang Zhong's, oh my god, look at that damage onto that back line. Kido is using this unit immaculately in this game. The Hundun. Still trying to push through the middle here, but Bones has to retreat back. He has himself now the ZQs, making a couple of these. And he's grabbing this. Oop, doesn't go for the tech. There is the tech here that I sort of thought wasn't worth it, and one that I thought was. I think it was this one, Song of Midsummer, I thought was worth it for this UQ, but the other one, 3 divine damage, which doesn't stack. I didn't really think it was that important. Man, Kido just loves putting pressure on him and then just deciding, hey, I'm going to retreat and we'll start again later. Now he's got all these champion Tiger Cav. Now, unlike Nuwa and Fushi, the Tiger Cav here, they don't really have any bonuses. They don't have any unique upgrades. So they're kind of just their base stats. So they're possible to get dealt with. But the thing here with what Kido's got is he's got fire archers, which counter all the infantry units. And then he's got champion Tiger Cavalry, which counter all the archers and all the range units. Oh, sorry, cavalry units. All the range units and all the cavalry units. So there's not really anything that he doesn't counter here that mechanics can build. So what are you supposed to do? What unit comp are you supposed to build here as the Norse is the big question. As the hill fort goes down, now charging in to take down the town center over here. Fortified town centers is on the way, but too little too late, it looks like. The mechanics rolling up onto this spot. The fire archer is going to be getting that damage done. These ZQ will absolutely demolish mechanics. And in that moment, mechanics goes, oh my god, you've got 4 of them. Wait, 3 of them. And you got a Hundun. And you got Wenzhong, wherever Wenzhong is. I just can't compete. And he says, I don't want to play anymore. He's at full pot, but I don't want to play anymore. Over here, we see the Huskarl trying to take down a ballet. It's never going to go down with that many units. Or actually probably would go down. But he's just not able to hold this spot. And he would lose this gold mine as well, losing a ton of villages there. Wow. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Shenong, or is it Kido? You be the judge. This was a really well-played game by Kido. I think he could have found a win much, much earlier. But in Kido fashion, he doesn't like finishing the game early. Maybe he knows he could have. And he says, nah, let's do something different. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, please continue to follow on Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.